Bring the hands down. And we'll start on the inhale by stretching the arms out in front of you, just kind of low, reaching out through the fingers. And exhale, bring the arms back so the hands come back to where they were at the start. Just keep on doing that back and forth. Inhale. And exhale. Just keep on going. Inhale. And exhale. And every time you might lift the arms a little higher if you can. We're not concerned about how high the arms go. We're not concerned about how symmetrical they are. What we're more concerned about is the idea that we're moving with the breath. And as you're doing this, the mind is going to wander away from the task. Try not to delve into those projections, memories, or plans. Instead, stay with your breath, stay with the movement. Let's do 5 more. Inhale, reaching forward. And exhale through the mouth, bringing the hands back, the arms back. 4 more. Maybe the arms go a little higher. Inhale through the nose, reach forward and up. Exhale through the mouth, bring the arms back. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. And last one, inhale. And exhale. So let's do something else. Let's let the arms relax at our sides. So maybe that means having the arms close to your torso. Maybe that means having your arms on the outside of your chair, on the outside of your wheels. This is going to be a little bit more percussive. So on the next inhale, through the nose, lift your shoulders up, lift your arms up, and then exhale through the mouth and shake your arms out. So do that for the next few breaths. So we're kind of making an audible sigh, but also we're working on increasing our lung capacity. Go back and forth 3 times more. And imagine you're shaking something off. So it's a symbolic act too. And within that idea of the sigh, there's that concept of release or relief, isn't there? Last one. And now, just breathe naturally, but let your arms shake at your sides. Let your hands shake, let your elbows shake, let your arms shake. So once again, we're shaking it off. Whatever it is you want to get rid of, visualize it coming off. And now take your hands and kind of like imagine that you're getting something off of your skin. The back of your hands, the palm of your hands, your forearm, your upper arm. Same thing to the other side. So we're kind of just stimulating the circulation at the surface of the skin. And then take your hands and rub them into each other. This is what they do in cold places. Our friends from Belfast, Maine, last week told us it was about 40 degrees there. We find that scandalous here in Miami. So this is the kind of thing we would do to warm up our hands in Belfast. Imagine. Maybe it's gotten a little warmer there. We have our friends from Ellicott City as well. And Philly. Yeah, cool. Squeeze one hand with the other. Feel the energy come into your hands. And then we're going to take one hand and we're going to massage the opposite palm. So go for it. We all know that it's good to massage our fingers. We all know that it's important to keep the circulation in the extremities. And massage the other palm. Squeeze with your fingers. Do we have our friends with Baltimore with us? Cool. Brooklyn as well? Oh, nice. Awesome. So squeeze, massage the other forearm. Okay, so we have an hour together. Let's make the best of it. And one of the ways that we can do that is really try to stay present. So, whatever it is that might be on your mind, let's just keep it a little bit irrelevant right now. Focus on how you physically feel. Look at this beautiful water behind us, the sun glistening off its surface. And we're going to start to make circles with the shoulders. So I'm not going to micromanage you on this. We're going to make circles in one direction, one shoulder, the other shoulder, and then we're going to go in the opposite direction, right? So first we'll take a few circles in one direction, but do it with your breath. So as you inhale, lift one shoulder up, back, however you want, down, and then other shoulder, inhale. So do it in your own way. So what I want to encourage you to do is to breathe fully and to breathe mindfully, not necessarily to go in sync with anyone else besides you. And as you're making these circles with the shoulders, of course, we're not just isolating the movement to the shoulder itself. The whole arm is going to move. And you'll notice you start to use the core muscles because the rib cage is moving, and you're letting your body turn, your upper body turn in one direction and the other direction. And you'll notice that you get a little bit more movement if you take your hands and you kind of press them into your thighs or into your legs or into the chair, because that'll help you make those circles. Do a few more in that direction. And be creative about it. And you might even hear little cracks and pops in the relevant joints. Okay, now let's go in the other direction. So the opposite shoulder and the other one, so we kind of even it out. And it's quite natural for us to feel asymmetrical, to feel like we have more flexibility on one side or more strength on one side than the other. So you're letting one shoulder lift up as the other shoulder drops down. And then let's come right into neutral. Okay, and then we're going to pause and we're going to take the hands to the body, to the torso. This time we're going to take the hands it's kind of in the middle of the torso. So let's say that this is where the ribs come together. The hands are just underneath that, right? So you can feel how your body expands and deflates, okay? And we're going to acknowledge, of course, that the exhale is a contraction. So we're going to start to move on the exhale, and this is going to be about core strength. So take a deep breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, turn your upper body to one side. So you're twisting the upper body. And you inhale back to the center. And you exhale to the other side. So you're twisting. Now you probably saw that boat go by. And of course, right now you notice that we're moving with the wake that boat just created. So when we're at sea, we're often using the core just to remain upright, which is cool. Go with the breath. Inhale to center, exhale to the other side. So don't skimp on the breath, don't skimp on the movement. Use your core to create that twist. And of course, as you're doing this, remain keenly aware of what's happening in your inner world. So we're always trying to reflect, notice where our focus is. And if you keep that audible exhale, we can practice listening, not just to the breath itself, but we can practice listening to the mind as it wanders. If you notice it's wandering, bring yourself back. Let's come back to neutral, back to center. Sit up nice and tall. Okay, let your arms relax. Now we're going to do some movements of the head and neck, and I'm going to count the breath. Okay, so let me give you an idea here. We're going to do a count of inhale 4 and exhale 4. So everyone has a different style of breathing. Remember, I'm just trying to keep you on track, but it's not meant to be any kind of like micromanaging. So if you feel short of breath, if you feel like you're like gasping or holding your breath too much, then just, please go back to your natural breath, but just try to count it. So count to 4 on the inhale, count to 4 on the exhale. And remember, it's just an idea. If your breath is a little longer, fine. We're trying to even out the length of the inhale and exhale, which is a technique we call samavriti, that make an equal turning of the breath. So we're going to do that. First, get your rooting. So whether you have sensation in your legs or not, visualize them, feel them rooting down. So feet are rooting down in place, legs are willfully stationary. Knees stay in place, thighs stay grounded, hips stays grounded. Okay, spine is lifting nice and long. And that's another added benefit of nice diaphragmatic, deep, mindful breathing, is that we're trying to fill the lungs three-dimensionally, and that helps the buoyancy of the torso. So legs are steady, hands and arms are relaxed. Let's make this about moving the head and neck with the breath. So exhale completely. And on your next in-breath, we're going to lift the head up. So we're going to lift the chin, turning our face toward the sky. And then on the exhale, we do the complement. We bring the chin down toward the chest. Go with that style of breath. 1, 2, lifting the head. 3, 4. Exhale through the mouth to the count of 1, 2. Bringing the head slowly down. 3, 4. And again, inhale through the nose. Start to lift the head. 2, 3, 4. And exhale through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. So go back and forth like that, lifting the head. 2, 3, 4. And dropping the head. 2. Slowly bringing it down. 3, 4. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, slowly lift the head. 2, 3, 4. And slowly drop the head. 1, 2. Breathing out through the mouth. 3, 4. And last one, slowly lift. 1. Breathing in through the nose. 2, 3, 4. Slowly bringing the head down. 1. Breathing out through the mouth. 2, 3, 4. Bring your head back to neutral. Same kind of thing. Let's go from side to side now. So head in neutral. Deep breath in. 2, 3, 4. On the exhale, drop your head to one side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring your head back to center. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then exhale to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go back to center. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's use the arms. Take a deep breath and then exhale to the side. 1. One arm reaches down, the other elbow lifts to the count of 4. 3, 4. And then back to center. 1. Inhaling. 2, 3, 4. Exhale to the other side. 1, 2. Reach out and down with that arm. Lift up with the other elbow. 4. And then back to center. 1. Sit up nice and tall eventually. 3, 4. Exhale to the side. 1, 2, 3. See how far you can comfortably go. 4. Back to the center. 1. Nice and slow. 2, 3, 4. Exhale the other way. So really reach through that arm. Really let your head relax to the side, lifting that elbow comfortably high. Inhale back to the center. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here we are back in neutral. Let's keep on working with the arms. Let's bring them out to the sides at a diagonal. And let's go through a little bit of contrast here. So if we have the arms just kind of relaxed at our sides, we're probably not going to feel that much. However, if we engage the arms, we'll feel a lot. So go through that a few times. So really engage the arms and then relax the arms. Do that a few times. Engage them and relax them. And now engage them and keep them engaged. Okay? So we're going to keep the arms active as we lift them. So out to the sides. Take a deep breath in to the count of 4, lifting the arms. 2. Make them really strong, as straight as you can. 4. And then soften the arms as you bring them down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And do that again. Stretch the arms strong. 1. Lifting them out to the sides. 2, 3. High as they'll comfortably go. And then exhale through the mouth. 1. Soften the arms as you slowly resist bringing them down. 3, 4. Let's do that twice more. Stretch the arms out, make them engaged, start to lift them. 2. Visualize the sides of the ribs opening, the back of the rib cage opening, the back of the lungs opening. And then soften your arms. 4 breaths. 1. Bring them down slowly. 2, 3, 4. And then once more, stretch them out nice and strong and slowly lift them. 2, 3, 4, and then soften the arms and bring them down slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's relax the shoulders a little bit. Go back to your normal breathing. Okay, so we're going to keep on going with this idea of moving with the breath, and just please notice the quality of your breath as much as you can. Try to use that technique of breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, just because it rarefies the breath enough to make it makes it unusual enough that it's not normal, and that we can kind of understand it as an assignment, and hopefully not forget that we have that assignment. So we're gonna add something to this move that we did when we lifted and lowered the head, and then this time we're gonna add a little bit of the shoulders and the chest and the waistline and maybe the low back and the pelvis, right? Which means that we'll be using the abdomen a little bit too. So it might be nice to visualize yourself as having a long tail. And when we do this move, when we lift up the head, imagine you're arching your back so much as if you had a long tail, you'd be trying to touch the tip of that tail to the back of your head. And then if you use that same imagery on the exhale, when we round the back, it's like you're letting your tail come between the knees, and you're going to aim it toward the tip of your forehead, toward the forehead, right? So the arching and the rounding. So we're going to start with the head and neck. So take a deep breath in to the count of 4, lifting the head. 2, 3, 4, and then exhale slowly. 1, bringing the head down. 2, 3, 4. Now let's add a little bit of the shoulders. Lift the head. 1. Now the chest is coming forward. Shoulder blades are drawing toward the spine. 3. You're really arching your back, looking up. And then exhale, do the reverse. 1. So now the head starts to come down. The belly button starts to move back. You curl. 3, 4. And then again, inhale, lift the head, straighten up. 2. Collarbones broaden. 3. Waistline moves forward. 4. And then the reverse. 1, belly button in. 2, round the back, cave the chest in. 4, and again, inhale. 1, 2, 3, squeeze the shoulder blades toward each other behind you, and then round the back. 1, shoulder blades slide away from each other. Keep rounding. 3, drawing the belly button in, curl into a little space. And then once more, inhale, lifting up into neutral. 2, arching, waistline forward. That imaginary tail is touching the back of your head. Deep breath in. And then as you exhale, you start to reverse, rounding the back, reaching the tip of that imaginary tail for the forehead. And then come back to neutral. All the way up. Now we're going to keep on doing that same thing, but we're going to incorporate a little bit of a twist. So for this one, I am going to suggest that you turn to the right. So your lower body is going to stay in place. Remember, we're visualizing, we're willing the legs to be stationary. We're going to take the hands, we're going to hold them onto the side of the chair. So that might mean the wheel of your chair, the seat of your chair, whatever you got, right? So we're kind of holding this upper body in this twist. The lower body stays just like it is. So really root it down. Okay, so same kind of thing. Inhale, lift your chest forward, a little bit of an arch. 3, 4, now round. 4. And do that again. Inhale, back up into upright. 2, start to arch. 3, broaden the collarbones. 4, looking up. Reverse. 1, out through the mouth. 2, belly button comes in. 3, 4. Let's do that once more. Inhale into neutral. 2, drawing the shoulders back. 3, arching into the upper back. 4, and the next one we're going to hold. So slowly start to make that curl. So it's a twist of the upper body, and as you make the curl, stay there. So as you stay there, visualize and feel the back of the left ribs opening, stretching open. So you're trying to soften the space between those ribs, among the ribs, all those intercostal muscles. Trying to expand into the back of the left lung, so it's about increasing lung capacity. Stay here for a few more breaths. Make any shift or change that feels good to you. And if you like, if you feel stable here, you can keep holding on with your right hand to the chair, but reach out with your left arm. And if you have something to hold on to, like I happen to have this right here, and it's a little bit farther away than this seat of my chair. So as I hold on, I can create a little more resistance. So let's stay here for a few more breaths. And you get more out of it, like anything. We get more out of it the more we put into it. So we're working not just on our flexibility, our elasticity. We're working not just on our breathing, but we're working on our powers of concentration. And when it comes to trying to allay anxiety, that is a very useful practice to have in your pocket. Now let's make our last exhale, and then let's slowly, slowly lift up. Okay, here we come back into neutral, and once we get into neutral, we're just going to pause here. I just saw a dolphin right there, close to the boat. So beautiful. Okay, everybody, same kind of thing. Take your hands over to the left side. All right, so we're going to go through that arching and rounding. And then we're going to hold the last one, and we're going to work on stretching open the back of the right ribs, the back of the right lung. So hold on with your hands to the left side. Lower body stays rooted. Okay, here we go. Inhale. Lift up the heart. Open up the chest. 3, 4. Keep your upper body turned. Exhale, rounding the back. 2. Chin coming toward the chest. 3, 4. And then inhale, 1, sitting up nice and tall. 2, broadening the collarbones. 3, arching into the upper back. 4, looking up. Reverse it. 1, 2. So with control. 3, belly button draws in. 4. And again, inhale, go with the breath. 2, so you're unraveling. 3, arching into the upper back, looking up. 4, exhaling. 1, rounding the back. 2, 3, squeeze out the air on the last exhale here. And then once more, inhale, start to lift up, unravel, nice and straight. And when I look up, I see a good 75 feet of mast above the impossible dream. And then as you exhale, you round the back, belly button in. 2. Now we're going to hold this one. 3, 4, and stay like that for a few deep breaths. Work on opening up the back of the right lung, the back of the right ribs. So if that means you have to move your right arm around a little bit, reach for something, or maybe even just reach out, it's good. Maybe even hand behind the head, so be creative. I see some of you on Zoom doing creative things. Thank you for that. 3, 4, keep on going. Stay like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do another round of breath. Slow inhale. And then a slow exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to sit up nice and tall. Okay, facing forward. And once you get into that neutral position, just pause there for a moment. Nice deep breaths. Hopefully you can see the calming water behind me. And the view of Miami. She's beautiful up close, but she also is beautiful from afar. Take your hands to the torso, right hand to the abdomen, left hand to the heart. Take a few deep breaths here, in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Another nice deep breath in through the nose take the hands and let's do something to wake up, get a little more circulation in the legs. So we're going to take the hands, the palms, onto the thighs, and you're going to press down, and you're going to massage from the knees to the hips, kind of back and forth. Press down as much as you comfortably can. So when we do it like this, of course, we're waking up the circulation on the surface of the skin. There's a couple more things that we can do, of course, to penetrate more deeply into the muscle tissue. But let's be careful for those of you who are on blood thinners, right? So Woody always points out, from the Woody Foundation, he always points out that because of his hand mobility issues, that it's better for him, he gets better results if he leans forward like this and kind of like rolls the forearm over the thigh. Okay, so if that works for you, you do that. So we go from side to side, and be methodical about it so that you start on one end, like at the knees, and go toward the hips, or vice versa. And just go with the breath. Cover as much territory as you can, side to side. And if either of those works for you, then you can continue to do those. But if you want to do something a little more percussive, then take your hands into friendly fists and bounce them on your legs. Not too hard. But you'll notice, even if you're not doing it that hard, you'll notice that just this more percussive action of the arms requires a little more oxygen, and the body responds by breathing more deeply. Pretty cool. And then we're going to take the hands toward the knees, okay? And we're going to use the fingertips to massage around the kneecaps. So below the kneecaps, on the inner edge, on the outer edge. Is David McCauley with us today? Is Alan T. Brown here today? Is Melissa Reyes here today? What about Juan Garcia? Good. Glad to know all our friends are with us. And now, after having massaged the knees a little bit, if you can lean down forward and kind of massage the shins, do that. Now, obviously, this is an issue because for some of us, when we lean forward, it's kind of hard to get back up. So if that applies to you, you hold on with one hand and you massage the shin. Squeeze with your fingers as much as you can. And then either switch arms or not. So there's so many things that we take for granted, you know, and the idea that we're able to even move the legs is something that most of us who can do it, most of us definitely take it for granted. But it's true also that not everyone in a wheelchair, not everyone is missing the sensation in their legs. So we had some special requests from some of our friends and some of our watchers that we do some leg strengthening moves, okay? So the next thing I'm going to suggest is going to be many parts. So we're going to, of course, be moving with the breath. And we're going to involve a little more power of the mind. So we're going to have to use our imagination and our visualization, which is another exercise that helps us with our focus and concentration. So we talk a lot about, you know, making the body strong and flexible, but it's not so popular to talk about keeping the mind strong and flexible. But when we're combating anxiety and when we are combating the addictive power of our smartphones and our mobile devices, then we can definitely see, just with those two examples, that it behooves us to have a strong and flexible mind that we're in control of. Okay, so this next exercise that we're going to do is going to be, you know, multi-layered, and that is that we're going to visualize ourselves walking. Okay, so the act of walking, you know, requires oppositional control, right? So we're using both hemispheres of the brain, we're using both sides of the body. But when we do it in a chair, right, it becomes a little bit theatrical because, you know, it's going to, you know, look a little bit stiff. Okay, so but still, the idea is that we're going with that idea of that oppositional movement that is required for walking and running and dancing, right? So I'm going to invite you to, if you do use your legs, and you can use your legs, it's going to be like this. We're going to let one leg lift and we're going to bring it down, and we're going to let the other leg lift and bring it down. Okay, so it's going to kind of look like a little bit of a march, right? And it doesn't have to lift that high. Even getting the toes to float a millimeter off the ground is good, right? So it could either be like that, marching the legs like this, and so that would require use of the thighs. It also requires use of the core, the abdomen, the hip flexors. But also you can do it like this, perhaps. Instead of lifting the thighs, you can just extend at the knee so that the foot floats. So we're all in this together. So there's going to be a lot of different ways that we can do this next one, right? So essentially, it's going to be like this, back and forth, back and forth. So yes, this request was for Marina, our friend Marina. So here we go, Marina, right? So first, we're going to start off with the visualization. So keep that style of breath. So in through the nose and out through the mouth, right? So there's multi-layered. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And I want you to visualize yourselves on this boat with us. If we could have you all here, we would. Visualize yourselves on this boat, looking at the water. And I want you to imagine yourselves, you're going to walk up the ramp from the stern to the bow, right? And then we're going to jump off. And let's get something straight. The waters are friendly. Visualize yourself with a life jacket, whatever you need, so that it's totally a positive visualization. And there's only friendly wildlife around here, okay? So keep it, playful dolphins, cormorants, seagulls, okay? Nothing treacherous. So let's lay that out, okay? So visualize it like that. Visualize yourself. So do your breathing. And then we're going to start to do the arms first. So inhale, one arm out in front, one arm behind, and exhale. And if you don't have space, you do it creatively. So the arm doesn't have to go behind you all the way. So you get the idea. We're really concerned with oppositional actions. Go with the breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now, if you use your legs, go for it. Whatever arm you have in the front, it's the other leg where we're going to see the action. And if your legs are not moving, you visualize that they are. That in itself is an exercise. So maybe you're doing with the leg bent and lifting it. Maybe you're straightening the leg. Doesn't matter. It's like a dance, and we can't control how everyone dances. That would take the fun out of the adventure. So whatever arm is in the front, touch the opposite leg somewhere, anywhere. Thigh, knee, lower, whatever. So back and forth. Go with your breath. So you are moving to the rhythm of your own breath. And the more movement you get, the more area you cover, right? That means you're moving more swiftly because you're covering more territory in each breath. Okay, so visualize yourself now. You're going to walk up the side of this boat. And yes, this boat was designed for people in wheelchairs, so there's plenty of room. And why not visualize yourself walking with a friend by your side? Not because you need them to support you, but out of affection, okay? Let's get that straight. Back and forth. So, this boat is 60 feet long, but imagine that it's much longer, so we can let this exercise last a little bit longer. And now, we're almost at the bow. And you can see the hulls with the net stretched between them. And visualize yourself walking across the net, barefoot. Visualize that sensation. And yes, sometimes your toes kind of like slip through the spaces in the net. That's part of the experience. And every time you take a step, it gives, so it requires even more balance. And now guess what? We're right there. We pause. And guess what? We're gonna dive in. So sit there, lean forward, look at the water. Look how gorgeous it is. You know, you might be surprised to learn that this bay is like maybe like 12 feet deep. Is that right? A little bit more? So the fact that there have been so few boats out here recently means that the water is the sediments are not floating. That means the water is so clear, much more clear than it normally is. So there's a lot to celebrate. So look at that water. Imagine how it's going to feel when we jump in. And then go for it. You jump in, and let's do the breaststroke. So you lean forward with the hands. You stretch the arms out, go back and forth. Now those of you who swim, you know that we have to keep the fingers together. Otherwise we're not going to be able to propel ourselves, so go for it. Go back and forth. And if there's another stroke that you prefer, do that one. So if you prefer to do the American crawl, do that. If you prefer, I hear that this is also called the Australian crawl. Is that so? Down under. Let us know. Go back and forth. So, however you're moving, if you're doing this, you'll feel it in your core as well. And don't worry about, like being exact. Just go with the feeling. And now, guess what? You want to see the sky. So lay on the back, you're floating. And you start to do the backstroke. Cover as much territory as you can. And then guess what? You're going to sit up on a raft and you sit comfortably. Your feet are dangling in the water. It feels so delicious. You feel the combination, that balance of having the sun on your skin, the salty air, the salt on your skin, the coolness of the water. So reach up for the sky. Interlace your hands overhead, turn your palms toward the sky, and turn your face toward it. Take a few deep breaths here. And then let's bring ourselves into neutral. Let your elbows bend to the side so you're taking your hands behind the head. Okay. And then we're going to open and close the elbows, and we're going to add a little bit of that move that we did earlier where we lift the head, where we lift the heart, where we arch the back. And then we round the back. So we're going to close the elbows in toward the face. Okay? So go back and forth like that. So on your next inhale, you bring the chest forward. You press your head back into your hands. You open up the chest. You look up, face toward the sky. And then exhale, round your back, belly button in, elbows toward each other. And inhale, heart forward. Open up the chest. And exhale, round the back. Keep going. Let's do one more round like that. Inhale, lift, open up the chest. Arch the back. Exhale, round the back. And then let's come back to neutral. Okay, let's get a little bit more of a side stretch. Let's keep the left hand behind the head, and let's take the right hand down to our side. So that might mean the side of your chair, that might mean the wheel of your chair, whatever. Exactly. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in, pressing the head back. And then as you exhale, lean to the right. I shouldn't say lean. What I really mean is bow open the left side. So if anything, you're pressing with your right hand, creating a little more resistance, moving the right side of your waist to the right. Am I talking too much? Now, some of you want to keep the face aimed forward. Some of you want to keep the face aimed down. Some of you want to experiment. Go for it. You might go inhale, lifting the head, and exhale, moving the head. So experiment, because sometimes it's just a matter of a tiny little micro movement that makes a big difference. Let's take 5 more breaths here. Enjoy that fresh air. It's a good idea. Let's do a couple of these. Inhale, heart toward the sky. A slightly different variation than before. Exhale, left elbow toward the right hand. Inhale, heart toward the sky. Exhale, left elbow toward the right hand. And do a few more of those. Inhale. And exhale. And last one, inhale. And exhale. Let's come back to neutral. Okay, let's reach up with the arms again. Lengthen. So of course, earlier I said interlace the fingers. So if you can do that, you interlace them the opposite way. If you want to turn your palms toward the sky, you do that. If your hands aren't going to interlace, just reach up. And then we're going to bend the elbows so that the hands go behind it, behind the head. And then you're going to take your left arm down. And then from there, lean your upper body, opening up that side. Back to center, and exhale. So here, what we're trying to do is open up the right side of the ribs, open up the right lung. Take some deep breaths there. Some of you might want to stay in this position. And whenever we're doing some kind of like lateral stretch, we keep breathing, of course. I'm going to notice how the pose changes just by virtue of the breath. So, by special request, deep breath in, exhale, round, right elbow toward the left hand. And then inhale, heart toward the sky, press the head into the hand, open up the chest. Exhale, round. A few more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale, and then hold it however you like. So you have the same kind of opportunity to experiment, to make little micro shifts and changes. And sometimes those changes are so minute that only you know that they're happening. But it doesn't matter how the onlooker sees it. What matters is how you feel it, of course. 3 more breaths here. 3. 2. And then slowly, let's come all the way to an upright position. And then once we're here, let's just let the arms relax, let them shake out a little bit. Okay. So from here, just turn your head from side to side a little bit, see how it feels. And since we've already done this kind of move, earlier, for those of you that are going to move your legs, right? Let's do a seated variation of sun salutation. So we'll close out the class with that. And of course, we always finish the class with our exercise of gratitude. So we'll do a few rounds of sun salutation. The first one we'll do nice and slow. Oh, Christy Hayes is with us too? Oh, cool. Hi, Christy. So let's go. Reach your arms forward and up with a deep breath in. Stay here for a few breaths. Arching the back. Deep inhale. And then exhale, round the back, chin to the chest, belly button in, hands on the thighs, really round, belly button curls back. And then we're going to come into an upright position. Now here, you either visualize your knee coming in, or you hug the leg in, shoulders back. Let's put the foot down. And then again, inhale, lift up, arching, looking up toward the sky. The next time you exhale, round the back. So stay here for a moment, chin toward the chest. These are all moves that we've done together before today. Now we come to an upright position. So this upright position, you might involve a little bit of an arching, looking up. Or if you can hold onto your leg, or if you can lift it up, go ahead. And then put the foot down. Okay, let's do a few more together. A little more swiftly. Inhale, lift the arms, arching, looking up. Exhale, hands come down, round, belly button in, chin toward the chest. Inhale, arch the back again, lift one leg if you can. Exhale, put the foot down. Other side, inhale, start by lifting the arms, by arching, looking up. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch again, lift the other leg if you can. And exhale, put it down. Okay, let's do one more round each side. Inhale, lift the arms, looking up. Exhale, round the back, looking down. Arch again, lift one leg if you can. Exhale, foot comes down. Other leg, inhale, lift the arms, arch the back, looking up. Exhale, hands come down, round the back. Inhale, arch again, lift the other leg if you can. Exhale, foot comes down. And let's just lift the arms, take a nice deep breath in, and keep them there as you slowly exhale and let the arms eventually float down. And we're going to bring the hands to the heart. So we are going to close the class, as we always do, with the exercise of gratitude. And we put the hands at the heart because it's the symbol of gratitude. So there are a lot of things a lot of metaphors that we can use for the heart. All over the world, virtues like patience, honor, love, affection, tolerance, compassion, valor, and courage, they're all associated with the heart. But for our purposes, we always finish the class with the exercise of gratitude. So you bring your hands to whatever gesture works for you, if you have one mudra that you like to use with your hands. We bring the focus to the heart, and here's where you visualize or you acknowledge something or someone you're grateful for. And this is really important. This is the coolest part of class. And when we do it interactively with all our friends present and people get to say out loud what they're grateful for, it's really heart-opening, heartwarming, and sometimes heartbreaking even. Visualize. Acknowledge what you're grateful for or who you're grateful for. And as you inhale, lift the arms up, reach up, gather that gratitude, and as you exhale, bring it to the heart. Okay, it's a symbolic act. Do that a few times. Inhale, reach out, reach up, collect the gratitude. Exhale, bring it to the heart. Two more. Inhale, reach out, reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Okay, one more. Inhale, reach out, reach up, gather that gratitude. Exhale, bring it to the heart. So when we're together in class and we get to hear everybody say out loud what they're grateful for, it's really cool. And when we're here alone, under the circumstances, we're practicing social distancing. We can't have our friends here with us. So it's not as poignant. But I will tell you, I'm grateful that you all came. Thank you so much to Dharma Yoga Studio. Thank you so much to the Woody Foundations for sponsoring these classes all these years. Thank you to The Impossible Dream for allowing us to bring these classes onto the boat, for allowing us to share the beauty of this boat. And thank you to Miami. And today, especially since we lost a native son of Miami, thank you for Don Shula. May he rest in peace, huh? May all our friends rest in peace. I hope that you guys are well, that you feel happy and healthy. I hope that you're getting something, we hope that you're getting something nice out of these classes. Please give us your feedback. It really means a lot to us. Let us know how you feel about the classes. Let us know if you have any special requests. Anybody who lives in a town along the eastern seaboard, if you don't know about the Impossible Dreams adventures every summer, please visit their website. You can also subscribe to their YouTube channel. You can see some of our past classes that they've uploaded there. Thank you to our friend Rob, who alerted the New Mobility magazine about our class. So we want more and more people to know about it. Thank you to the Dana and Christopher Reeve Foundation also for sharing the class on their pages. And we just want more people to know that these classes are available. Really, we want our friends and family to know that we care. That it's all about being accessible and inclusive. So enjoy this beautiful view. Namaste.